Good morning, folks. It's 8:28 a.m. An interesting number on the fourth month, 11 day, 2025. I'm going to issue Cyclone Watch. I might as well just call it a warning because I'm fair certain. I've been tracking this storm since it was born. I'm watching the EMF in the paths of resistance and stuff that is going to be leading towards this event. And so what I'm going to do now is roll this part in so we can get this done with. It's packing a wall of water with it. Wherever the center swath of this, it's not super duper wide. It's not 500 miles wide or anything like that, but it's enough to really cause some major disruptions on the path exactly where it comes ashore. And then, like I said, I'm fair certain, but I like to call it a watch. We'll be watching for this now. Come on, BOM. I'm forcing your hand here. Get honest with these people about forecasts. Put your doctorals on the line. Yeah, instead of using them for excuses. So I'm going to run this now about what I expect to happen. It's going to be highly electrical and extremely windy in the path of this storm, and I do expect it to spin off tornadoes when it comes ashore, okay? Or water spouty activity as well is to be expected. So this is not and it's going to kind of cut a path towards Fitzroy Crossing. And so you guys out there, it takes a while to get all your shit ready. So I'm going to tell you guys out that way, heads up, open the gates, make sure on the higher ground, make sure you got food for your animals, and that your pastures are freely traversable for all wildlife. It's going to be in the path of this extremely dangerous storm. It's going to be coming ashore. Let's see what day. I have to try to go through the times in my head. Well, you'll be definitely be impacting your coastline coming on overnight Thursday into Thursday day properly, right? And then coming, what it looks like late in the evening, about dinner time, she bashes in. I think it's going to come a little bit south of Broome. So I'll go over some of the EMF in the past. I'm just using this graphic as a basic so you could see just kind of what's going on. As you can see, the wind sweat dies down fair quick, but all the way into this peninsula here is going to be impacted like ba-ding. How are you pronouncing that one? Babby-ding, babby-ding. And Joe Biden's Sniffyville down here is not going to be looking good. But damn! Yeah, more towards this end as I'm concerned about than anything else. This is where I really see it coming in through here and impacting Fitzroy Crossing with some of these heavier tendrils as we work our way into the weekend. Friday. It spreads its winds out fair quick. And these winds, though, this is just regular winds. And the gusts to be expected will also be kind of high. Let me double check that this is actually running. Yes, it is. I think it is. Yeah, sometimes I'm looking for the gusts. There we go. Because gusts is going to be important, as we go in through Thursday and stuff. When you got gusts 58, 60 miles an hour, that right there, the gusts of wind there would be what Australia calls a cyclone. And the winds I'm picking up is what Australia would call a Category 2 cyclone, but the rest of the world would not. We would call it a Category 1. Yeah, so let's get the differential. And you guys make it so you go with what the rest of the world uses. They want everybody in the world to use metric. Well, I want everybody in the world to use the Saffir-Simpson scale, because you and was it Tonga are the only one that uses a weird scale. And even that gust right there, according to your weird scale, would be considered a tropical cyclone, but they go by sustained winds averaged over a period of 10 minutes. Every gust, everything is how you come up with yours. And the Saffir-Simpson uses that's the average over 1 minute. That's the difference between the two that I discovered. Yeah, but inland winds is going to be a big problem. You're not going to be planning to travel that way during that time with your vehicles, because you're going to be in great danger to get caught out here during a flooding event like's going to happen. And it's going to be flash flood. It's going to be some fair totals coming in fair quick. Yep, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair that even the Bureau of Morons ain't telling you about this swat that's out offshore. And a lot of this can be blown in the wind. It's over a half a meter parked right off the shore there. Well, when it comes to swelling the streams and killing the dreams, yeah, the geoengineers are getting really good at that. Should we ask the East Coast of Oz? Should we ask every grain of sand they're having to put back on a beach somewhere along the coast to prop up the tourism? It drives out the locals. Yeah, driving out the locals. But that's another topic. I was just seeing some really wicked totals across here, but and a big beam came across, right across through here, all the way from a location. I was picking the ship up, was right about here where my hand is, with this little dot's going to appear right there. And it beamed across in a line like this. And it had a line that went up and down, and up and down and up and around and moving down. There are a bunch of pendejos. I've seen some fair totals coming on the back half of the 2 week period here for Vanuatu and all that down here. I told them I'd have a peak. It's just a peak you're going to get. Not too bad on the first half. It's like steady rains, but then you have a whammo moment where we'll have to be watching this tendril. So I think it's just some wets are coming. It's that time of year, and nothing really I don't see no cyclone or nothing for you guys. And same for Bali and all that up there, because I got some friends up there. This looks like an event that's going to impact this coastline quite severely. But I must say, for my surfer friends out there, surfs up, I watch out for the wipeouts. Actually, I enjoy watching them, but especially when you guys survive them. Yeah, I see some tremendous things. But I'm been enjoying the GP catamaran racing. They had to halt the race because of that mast that snapped was done by... I'm looking for your wave heights. Let's check what I do. Let's look at the waves along the coast here. It's coming off. There's nothing yet. Nothing's. It should be good. You'll be looking towards these purples. So you can do a coastal move up the coast. Yes, the waves move up the coast. And then when these meet, man, this shit's going to kick off for real through here, man. This is going to get great. That's about the time you go here. I don't know where you love to surf along here, because it's not like I knew the Northern Rivers area, and I know the coastline of Goldie and all surfers and so I was very easy to call that one. Heck, I sat up on that hill and was loving watching people do Kara. What a fucking beautiful way. Yeah, this is major surf. Yeah, you guys, there it is. So you got a great week coming. You see how close to shore these big waves are going to get? So, if your name is Charlie, start surfing. Go over here. Wow, yeah, this is going to be great for you guys. There's going to be some big rollers. What's the swells looking like? Yeah, and some swells. Good. Oh, yeah, so this is going to be a really good surfing event for the coastline as well. But start your way down here, and you can have a hell of a week. And you start moving north. But remember, when that thing comes ashore, if you're caught south of that line, you ain't going to be going north of it. Okay, when this thing comes ashore, looking all big, bad, and wolfy and all, it's temps. Let's get that back up. If you're caught down here, you're caught down there. There's no road you're going to be able to take up to go north. Until you go all the way into the northern territories, it's going to be the danger zone. So get your supply runs done. Set home, because the water's going to run. Get your stock up off the floors. Fitzroy Crossing, bunch of water's going to come your way, and I don't trust it is staying south of you until you agree to give them a new ville over here. What's this, Wankerville? I saw a name. Hang on a minute. I'm not going to be able to keep scrolling like this. My hand is screaming. I got 2 broken bones in my thumb. And tomorrow, 2 days I go to the thing. Yeah, Wanka Tajanka. Tatanka. Boy, are you guys fucked. I don't trust that they're going to leave all that water offshore. So, I'm issuing the warning. Now it's time for me to go to New Zealand. Hi. Hey, Whakatani. You're fucked. Yeah, you got about a third of a meter or so coming your way. Of very, very moist raindrops. Yeah, moist raindrops. And again, the flow is kicking some more stuff towards Nelson in this area here. It's not a welcome sign for me to have to show you guys these totals again. Hey, so I'm going to go over yours now. Yes, this is the tale of two high cyclonics going right up the wazoo of Mother Earth. Yes, it's the bad totals coming. So, you've got days to prepare. I'll zoom this over to the 15th there to show you pretty much when the event's coming. And it'll be fair quick. This is when I thought. I think I had it down to Thursday night. It was a particular time on Thursday night it was starting. It was be like a Voldemort begin moment, when the geoengineers turn on the beams and all that. Axis, I think, was showing the real totals. Yeah, that's about right. A big sweat with over a quarter meter of water in the Rotorua, right, the Roto-Rooter over there. Yeah, the rooter. And the fuckatoni, I do love saying that. WH, hey, rest of the world, WH over here, it sounded like F. So there's all sorts of fuck words in this country you can get away with saying. All hope, all happy, smoky wokey, Duranga, fucked. The wazoo over here, this area here is, this is what I call the sphincter. It's going to have a hell of a flow of wind coming through the sphincter here. It's going to definitely moisten the ground over here. So this river's going to run. Yeah, so watch it. Because it's coming on this side, it's going to drop the most condensate. So this river's going to catch the most of it, and that's called the, I got to learn how to pronounce it to say. Yeah, that one. That one. Hey, so crossing the state highway might be needing some freedom at a new bridge. So you guys over here at Wells Ford, and seeing the word Ford means that's where the river's going to run. Hey, so watch yourself. Get your shit up in the air. Save your stock. You're going to have a problem coming your way. So let's run through the problem that's coming your way. And then if my hand holds out, I'll show you the chem. If not, oh fucking well. Do you mind if I just go right to the moment on this? Okay, the rain at the Penis Insula it should be starting at probably about on the 14th my time. That's in through Tuesday morning when the real rains start. Let it rain. I want ECMWs. Yeah, they seem to be matching up. And then I'm going to show you some of the beams because I've got some marking maps. And the front line that's going across Queensland is a mighty straight line. And while this is doing that, I'm going to sip my coffee a minute. I saw a little bit of fog out here last night and condensate, so I stuck 4 window slides on the windowsill, which I think will be my pleasure to have a peek at. I don't know what I'm going to see besides pollution on them, but it's enough to maybe we could see something, so we'll do that a little later on this morning. And I have a sale at the same time because I just have to charge this big phone I've got in my hand here, the big phone, so I can, where's my charger? It's going walkabout. Yeah, so it has to be on 100 for me to do it. You see that coming across there? This winds are going to be really, really high. I'm expecting winds 50 and 60 miles an hour coming across New Zealand here on Thursday, their time. I'm going to try to give you your times in your time, okay? And right here is bad. This is bad. This is that Thursday I'm talking about when the main batch is coming through, and these winds are going to be fierce. Yeah, very, very, very fierce. I'll zoom in on that, see if we can get it to stop. Stop. Did anybody say that? It might make you want to stop. All right, let's have it right there. Let's back that up. Get to some of these winds to be expected in the Auckland area. It's about right, 45, 50 miles an hour. And the gusts are going to be the tail. That's going to be what's the damager is, because the wind will change directions when the front moves towards the South Island. So anything that's been leaning one way is going to go leaning the other. Okay, so we have to be aware of that. But the gusts are going to be very, very dangerous. Okay, so you prepare now. Get your garden furniture in. Make sure you ain't got no pets outside because you love them. Again, you're getting that treatment. It seems like it's near on the same day. It's like, oh, what, is there a sacrifice day going on in the Talmud or something that I don't know about? Because, if you slaughter the goose in the center of the town, so to speak, or the lamb, they consider us the lamb masks. Yeah, this is bad, man. This is going to be a wicked, wicked event. The gusts are going to be very, very damaging. It's going to be a howler of a night through the overnight hours of Thursday, after midnight on Wednesday. You know, when you get into Thursday at like 1 second after midnight. Yeah. Somebody nitpicked me a date one time, and then I want to debunk something. Somebody says there's a ship around that they use as a harp, and that's a floating power plant. And Turkey started putting them out there because of when they have earthquakes, they could pull it into a city and have some basic infrastructure back. It saved their ass in Izmir when they had the big quake. So I'll show you that, but I want to go through this first. It's going to be a howler, folks. This is going to be one of them events. I want you well prepared. You got 3 days to get the job done. It's the weekend. Ladies, you're going to make your husbands do some work, and they would get mad at me if it's not needed, but you know what? It's always needed. If they've been sitting on their asses, put a rake in your head and hawk at the grass. Now, really, watch for the limbs that are over your house. If you got something that's due to fall, I'm seeing something in my head that somebody's been procrastinating about a limb. Make sure you tie that sucker off so when the wind takes it, it goes away from your roof. Mm-hmm. Preemptive. Preemptive measures. And you'll have you some kindling for some firewood big time. I don't see this as being a big slash event because of the amount of time it's going in, but there's going to be a lot of water running down the Fuckatawny region towards which that one there is the Bay of Plenty. And the EMF is going to definitely be high, very, very high. So I'm just going through that. See how she just hung around, man? Welcome to the world of the wind. Welcome to the geoengineers. Welcome to something that is not what people are telling you. And I'm going to debunk something right now. This video is going around. First thing I want you to know is when you hear this kind of music in a video, they're trying to instill fear. Listen. I want Darth Vader come out or something there or something. I'm going to turn that off. This is a power plant. This is not a HARP facility. This video that is going around goes around every once in a while. It's being portrayed as an absolute lie. And the people that allow this in their group have no integrity. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Daryl, in a kind way. So in a kind way, I'm telling you people, do your fucking homework, man. Do your homework. There's an article about it. I could put this link in, but I really don't want to get done for putting links into my own video comments because I'm still trying to figure out how I got banned from that. This is an article about one of them. This is a Google search that will yield many other type vessels. Now, I can say this. There is a way these can be used for geoengineering because, boy, can them stacks inject some moisture in the atmosphere via steaming it up using ocean water to cool the power plant. Those things will put a bunch of steam out. So sometimes when I say you got a ship out there steaming it up, what if it's one of those? We deserve an honest answer. Where that beam was yesterday, there was 2 ships that were unlisted, and we will never know what they were. And they were in the exact location where the epicenter of those beams were that I marked out yesterday. So the geoengineering has continued. Continue. The mimic of it all. Big beam blasting eyes over here. You see this big thing here? I'm going to get from here and here. Big blast. Big blast. Right? That's pinning moisture. It's setting the flow right here. And so I went and I looked at the clouds themselves to see if I can identify when the path is. That's pretty much what you get in New Zealand leading to those totals. Get yourselves ready. You have been warned. Twice. Yes, I warned you yesterday. So, what was the next thing I was going to look at? Because I got a lot to look at. I'm going to pull up... I thought I left Worldview up. I had a really good image here. Well, I'll do this one. You can see the EMF lines pretty well. Just looking at this, right? Let me just get Mr. Squiggles out here and we'll have a peek. Yeah, check to see that Mr. Squiggles was alive this morning. Oh, there goes the mouse again. That mouse falls down so many dang times. I worry about him. He got to get a bump on the head. All right, what color do we got here? Oh, we don't want that one. Yeah, let's think a nice calming ocean color. Right, that beam that you seen on Mimic, right, is right here. You have another one that's coming on a V like this from the center of the country. You have a flow line here. You have a flow line here. And if you look close, you'll see an arc here. All right. It's a hard line. And nothing getting past this. When I go thick on a line, that means it's more EMF than the others. Right. I have a guiding line here, and here, and here, and here. A sucker's coming ashore here. If we look in higher, you see the vapor saying here and here. So I'd say she hits there. She comes ashore there. That's well south of where they're saying. They're saying here. There's not enough EMF to block that. It's fed to go here. See that square of those dots there? I'm going to go a little different color. A friendly yellow. Oh no, colorblind people have difficulty with that one. So let's not use it. How about pink? Pink, it was love at first sight. See the square look to that there? That Kanban formation. She's fed to go here. But there's no food for it yet here. It can't go here. That's it. It will not go there. It can't go down any further than that. It can't go out here. There's too much EMF. Too much EMF in there to do that. So I did some maps. And I'll go back to my wall a bit here. And I did some maps this morning. One of the first things I noticed was a big line straight across here. And I got this image of Himwari 8. See that? That's always when I see a big straight line of storms, I go, right. Hey, that's a beam. And so I located where there's a ship. It was right out here north of New Caledonia here. And it put out 4 scalar. These are going to become tendrils. Boom, 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 with gaps in them. And well mapped out in the clouds. Very well mapped out. So I went to Mimic and had a look as well. And this is another image showing how these glitches, as they call them, are affecting the clouds. That's a hard line. Nothing coming down below that from the tropics. Everything has to skate across. That's what's pinning the flow. That and the beams coming here from the next rad station, the stuff you guys been showing me. I didn't mark the beam that's here to here. You can see how it blows out the condensates. The plasma is different. So then I went further, of course. I went a little further, and I got the beam. And yeah, it's going to get wet as fuck at those areas, because it says so. So I showed you where the beams were now, where you see these lines. Like I'm going to, like from here to here. Now, all of them are culminating on this spot. A lot of activity. You know, draw a straight line to that purple spot from that area to that. From that to that, you'll see a beam right here. Trying to draw it exact, but you tap them with a finger to get a cast on it. That's why I said this is very, very difficult. I've been in a lot of pain. It's been very hard to do this. The beam, there's a hard line here. Here, I'll show you another one. Just seeing this on Mimic, I could see stuff. You can look very endlessly because the little tweaks that they do to create the heated outflow lines. If they make too much of one in here, they can't get the flow. I got a next reds here. 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 That's just looking at the condensate. So I know I got a heated flow there. It's possible they could bring it in here. So we're going to keep, that's why I'm calling it a watch. I'm going to watch this very, very closely. Because I'm a Westerly rabbit. Are you? You do your own homework? Do you realize how, when you're being lied to in a group of people, that a whole group of people convince themselves they're correct, will then tell lies, and then when you're showing the truth like this, people won't believe you? That's right. Okay, so consider your sources. And if they give you more than one bad information, consider you're wasting your time. And that's the plan of the system. And when you hear that kind of music, all emotive like that, like Freddy himself's gonna come into your dreams, or Jason's running down the hall. This big beam came up the coast here. See that line? There'll be a second line somewhere else to pulse. There it is. You usually see two lines. When you're using the big boy devices, they're big blasters. There's some more evidence of a ship right here at this, right here, at that conjunction. It's doing something in an arc, and it's sitting right there. See that scalar square? So I could go in further on a map and then draw each straight lines over here, from there to there. That's an arc. So that's a pulse wave. See this one area here? See, I don't want that. Right there. See, just, oh, actually, I can get that up. I think I actually posted this image. Stop. Go away. Go away. There we go. I'm gonna zoom this a minute. You can see a pulse wave through here. I'm gonna get a different color going. They're frying all of you. Doo-be-doo-doo. This is just pain in the ass. I mean, I don't want everybody's commercials. Go away. Bill Gates, get out of my... Bill Gates, get out of my curb. Inside that, you're going to see an arc like this. I know my drawings ain't very good, but like I said, I got a cast on my hand. And it's in an arc like this. So a ship will be like, if you had a radar and it was on top of a ship or a dish, it emits a wave. Bzz, or like you would hear boop, 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 pinging. That's a big ping. It's big pings. The ship is exactly here that did that. There's a ship here. Yeah, they operate in groups. Carriers operate in groups, and there's a big blaster right here. Scalar energy says so. And that's going to be pushing a lot of water towards you guys there in Queensland, and the impact area is right there. I determined this with by doing the lines on the map. I find that's the best way. And see if I could find any windy getting honest. It was that, and that. So you can see how these lines affect your flow. I'm going to turn that one up. Yeah, because we get lied to by a lot of things. You see how they could pull this thing in? Hi, you've got power now in your area. And they can take big wires and hook it up to this power station here. And they'll be like, oh, it's a HARP. Nah, man, they're transmission lines. Yep. Sorry, the power lines behind your house ain't a fucking HARP either. Get it through your fucking heads. HARP looks different. HARP looks like this. HARP has these type antennas. HARP is on the ground. Good luck putting that at ship out at sea, bouncing around. Come on, people, use your fucking heads. Yeah, that's HARP. That's in Alaska, okay? It isn't in a ship at sea. They have other devices in ship at sea. They have microwaves. They have over-the-horizon, long-range radars that is open house. Tell me how it was shut down with an open house in 2022. Well, like I said, we get lied to a lot. And if we don't fact-check ourselves, we're just as bad as the lie spreaders on the news, just grasping at a straw. And it's anchored off, and there's a mast over here, and they'll hook the power line to that and run it to the thing. That's what that is. It can steam it up, though. That could put a vast amount of water in the atmosphere, right? So that is a geoengineering ship in that sense, but it is not. Bzz, bzz. It's a steamer, man. It steams it up, and that's what I got to say about that. And I think I've showed you your forecast. Let me give a quick look for Canberra Run folks that have been down there hashtagging and exposing the 28, singing beautiful songs, and basically standing up for your children so they don't get purred by a politician when they're getting kissed. Yeah, the kissing of the kid by the politician has turned into something that's very, very evil. Yeah, but all in all, I'm not seeing no huge action coming for you guys down there. You know, just that coast road getting a bit of a hit. But there's nothing huge. Come on, change. Here they come. Whammos. The internet's a bit slow. That's why I said you're going to want to do the double run and watch the coast road, but it'll be passable. Okay? So we're gonna watch these people up here. This is a bad situation unfolding. So now I have to go to the third place. Yeah, this my hand is really not gonna be happy with me. So can corridor have some combinations? Oh, you should see the chem. It's bad. Chem is always bad. Chem is bad. Deep blue sky's good. Us geoengineering with tensor tools, bad. Us harmonizing the world with them, good. That's right. I'll teach you Slim Sperling's dream with him. And when you buy them, don't forget to put the Gilt 10 in, because evidently a lot of these sales, I ain't got credit for fuck off. Yeah, that's why I've been doing commercials on it. You imagine my drumming up an interest being used by others so they can get money. Not talking riding rates, I'm talking the other people sell it. I think it's scandalous. Yep, don't use them for geoengineering. It's against galactic law to geoengineer. So the people doing this are in a lot of trouble, spraying us and stuff, and they've been warned. And people using devices to modify the weather as well are wrong. You harmonize the world, a chem will drop from the sky. You learn to link the energy of a tree into your harmonizer, that tree will run the weather. And the tree's going to know. And I have figured that out. The deep blue skies you saw in them picnics were done that method. If you put a single frequency into a harmonizer and point at something, you're firing a gun. And some of these big ones are leaving the planet. You might be affecting something you don't know about. And they're not happy with you. You have been warned if you've heard my voice. Penalty is light extinguishment for playing God on our planet. Yeah, in general. Yeah, it boiled down to a rule. Playing God means light extinguishment, because you don't create light. The Creator creates the light. That is all I got to say about that. So you got some fair totals coming up to the far north of the funk in Queensland, but I warned you about that the other day. And my hand feels like it's about to fall off, but there's no way I'm going to load this screen and not show you. Yeah, there's too much time involved. Okay, so I'm going to run some of the chem that's making this cyclonic system happen. The low is currently sitting right here where I'm pointing it, fizzing itself into existence. I expect it to be listed as a tropical storm by the end of the day if it's not already now. So I'm going to have a peek, because it wasn't late last night. No active storms currently. Okay, but it will be. You will be. I guarantee. You know, these cams exploding out here. Boom, 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 boom. Put the food up. Yeah, this is, flow says here. There's a bit of a hard line here, but there's a suction pad that it can come here and then suck straight in. Oh, look at the pulse wave here. Bzzz, bzzz. Remember when I said I seen Nexrad? There's more evidence of it. Port Hedland, you're frying them. Getting fried, getting fried. That ain't the morning glory. There's a beam. That's a pulse. Pulse pattern. Actually, you got two pulses. See that other curve? You got two stations. That explains my map. That's a double shot of finding information. You got a big row of chem going sideways over the top of this one, going laterally. Would you like to tell me how many directions of the winds are going out here, Mr. Bureau of Marrod's doctoral dunce cap? Yeah, I guess they have the dunce cap now for instead of a square mortar board. You know, the mortar board of the masons for laying that brick. Look at this chem going across the corner. My God, I didn't see that earlier. Let's see if I got a still shot of that. Over here on the asshole worldview. Yeah, that's sickness mix. You poor folks. That ain't such a darling thing. That's darling. I think they spelled craps wrong. And the darling scarp is a bunch of fucking undarlimentary crap. Right from Dun. Yeah, this is like a Dunnyborough right here. The whole sky looking like a dunny. Yeah, because it's outside and it's shit. You know what this is in Dunsbury? That's skyria, man. Skyria, 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 all over you all. Boom, 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 boom. Skyria, 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 all over y'all. Look at this shit here. Isn't that disgusting? What a classic case of explosive skyria. What a fucking shame. I'm having a hard time looking at this. You want to see the fryer line of all. But the money shot of the day is going to be the Tasmania. There's this big, huge night, a whippersnapper came. It's fried the hell out of you. Look at the waveform going sideways and pulsing out. Bzz, 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 fried, getting fried, Tassie style. With that said, with that done, all at once we all must say, no more, no more will anybody on this earth play God other than God, because God don't play, and even you will not tempt the Lord thy God, because I have a feeling this water's about to show up and cleanse you. Big love. Stay safe. Peace. You have been warned.